So when we have a drawing that we like, a line drawing, we're going to put charcoal on the back. I used my Vine charcoal. We're going to transfer it from newsprint to a good piece of drawing paper. And some, I believe that's extra soft or soft charcoal. So it's on the back of our newsprint. And we're going to tape that. Make sure you want to get a good coverage. We're going to tape that onto our good paper. And then we're going to use a sharp tip. You can use a ballpoint pen or a really sharp pencil and go over all the lines that you want to transfer onto your good paper. That way, once we start to think about value and shading, we won't have to, we could sort of just focus on that. So you can see that those important marks are still there and it's transferred to the good paper, and we're able to kind of see what was there, and now I'm just going over them. I'm still looking at my reference picture to make sure just things look decent, make sure they look all right. Things will still move, I'm sure of it, but yeah, so now we're taping it, and we're taping, I taped the borders so it'll have like a nice clean border. And with a soft or extra soft pencil, I'm starting to fill in the values. So those shadows that I see, just like how we were looking at cubes and we squint to see which is the light side, which is the dark side. And here I'm just toning the paper. This can be done with charcoal powder. They didn't have any at the store, so just using a soft pencil can kind of tone the paper for you. And here I'm just doing that a little bit further. I probably would have used Vine charcoal next time because you can still see the marks, but it's no big deal because we're just going to be drawing on top of it. So when the paper is toned, I feel like we have a better sense of the drawing. So right here, I'm just still trying to put in the darks and lights. I'm using my finger to smudge here and there just to kind of even things out where I need to. And still revising my drawing, always revising my drawing. Still measuring. So you can see when I made the eye area darker, I went over the whole eye. We're not leaving anything white, really. And now I'm starting to use our different mark making techniques, just kind of different angles, different sides. Like if you were to take a piece of string and wrap it around like a forehead or a face, how would it lay? So think about like the Michelin Man. So even though I'm kind of like smudging out some of the marks, I'll go over them and sort of re-put them there. That texture buildup kind of adds to the dimensionality of the face over time. And yeah, I'm just moving around and just constantly comparing. Now the comparison is this darker or is this lighter? Is this darker than this? Is this lighter than this? And you kind of just move around the face doing that comparison. So all the different planes of the face, I feel like they have a different way the pencil could go, a different mark that they can make depending on where it is and how you're sort of like wrapping that line around that form. So here I am with that eraser pencil thing again, and I'm doing cross hatching with that. And again, like the different pressure that you can make with both the eraser and with the pencil are really helpful. And this is my kneaded eraser. I'm kind of taking out some bigger chunks of value, lightening things up as a whole. Kind of going back and forth between darkening areas, lightening areas. Make sure you take a step back from your drawing every once in a while. It's a really good way to help you realize if something's looking really weird. If your face is all in your drawing the whole time, you won't be able to tell. But when you can evaluate it as a whole, you can be like, oh yeah, this is too big, this is too small. So I switched to a harder pencil now. And I'm just kind of repeating the same process. Pay attention to the relative sharpness of lines or softness of lines. Like for example, the bottom lip sometimes is not the sharpest, kind of like fades into the chin. So here I'm sort of re-putting the eye sockets, and they kind of got lost. But around the eyes it's usually darker because it goes back in space. And that structure can really help you place the eye. And now I have this compressed charcoal, like this charcoal stick, just to make the darks even darker. Here's the shadow on my shirt, or from my shirt. So just general to specific. And the more you do this, the more you'll get a hang of it and like a feel for your tools. I think it's best for everybody to have like a really kind of stark light source to begin with, so it's easy to see your lights and darks. I wasn't so much the case with this image, unfortunately, but you can sort of see the process either way. I think also it might be helpful to have a darker background behind you, so it can help you kind of get more of an idea of how you relate to the background, so you can have a value back there. And all the features, pretty much like the ears, the eyes, it's the same method. You just have to measure a little bit more intricately, but just break it down to its simplest shape.